So an absolute bombshell was dropped on that nameless person yesterday as photographs were produced that showcase that nameless person and their friends, they staged the evidence against JD. Now what makes this beautiful is that nameless person, they're the ones that accidentally produced this information. That's right. They submitted these photographs, the ones that are being taken apart. You and I, we're going to look at that today. Buckle up, because this stuff, it just keeps getting worse for that nameless person. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. So hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. If you would, share this everywhere. You know the mainstream won't pick it up, so it's our job to put it out there. Also, if you would, feed that pesky algorithm. Likes, comments, helps get it out there too. If you haven't subbed to the channel, well, consider it. And if you have, well, thank you. And check it out and make sure you still are. So this information, it couldn't come at a worse time for that nameless person. Why do I say that? Well, friends of hers. I'm talking people like I.O. Tillett, right? People that admittedly leaked items to the press, did damage control and on. They've started distancing themselves, and quickly. Now, it's those same friends and others, by the way, that are in this pop topic bombshell where photographic discrepancies, they prove, you notice that word there, prove that nameless person and that nameless person's friends, they helped stage the quote-unquote penthouse rampage. Now, this article, it mentions two friends outright. It mentions Raquel Pennington, but more importantly, it mentions the fiancé, Josh Drew. If you don't know Josh Drew, by the way, that is the person that took all photographs, including these photographs here, helped basically set up this idea of what transpired. And remember, when you're looking at this stuff here, this is supposed to be the aftermath of JD going around swinging a magnum-sized bottle, basically destroying everything in his wake. Now, the article points out the problems here, noting, quote, when providing photographic evidence in support of the allegations, that nameless person, they inadvertently submitted two photographs of the same staircase landing in Penthouse 5 that included a small area of overlap between the respective pictures. Now, here's the issue, and it's easy to overlook, by the way, but within the overlapping area, spillage that can be seen in one photograph, it's actually missing in the other, and broken glass that can be seen, too, that's moved and or added between photographs. So if you look at these two pictures here, what you have in the first frame is you have the entire landing, and then when you look at the second frame, it showcases two steps that would actually be equal there. And if you look at the areas that they're pointing at, well, interestingly enough, you notice some differences here, because even in the low quality imagery, you can tell that one image, it doesn't match up with the other. There are things that, well, they appear and they disappear, and that doesn't happen, not when the person has already left. Now, that is an important distinction that needs to be discussed too before we move forward. The idea that he could not have caused this. Why? Because metadata proves that he wasn't around at all. Quote, furthermore, the metadata of those same photographs reveals that the photos, they were taken at 21:31, just 12 minutes or so after the two officers had left the apartment, again making it impossible for JD to have caused the damage. Other oddities also suggest that the metadata, it may have actually been altered to make it appear as if the photographs, they were all taken together, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Now, to make what they're saying even clearer, I've gone to the testimony of one Josh Drew. You can see this photograph here. You can very clearly see what is here or isn't here, and in the second picture, this is actually an add-on. You can tell up the stairs, so we're going to hop down a little bit, and bam, there are actually items that are sitting there. Again, in that first picture, they don't exist. What's more, and again, this could be the quality of the picture, I'm not really sure, but if you look at this item right here as well, you would think that you would catch a glance of that, right? It looks like not only did somebody go in and they set this stuff up, trying to make sure that they had an impressive photo, but in the aftermath, they may have done some more damages as well. Yeah, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good at all. Now, as far as proof goes, one thing that I really like about this article is they go to great detail to make sure that you understand that this here, it isn't a separate thing from this. Basically, we're just looking at a longer angle. They prove this by giving you the pictures here, and then they give you pictures below. These pictures, they're two still shots from a 2008 walkthrough video of Penthouse 5 before it was refurbished. You notice these things, they are identical. You can tell this is the same layout. So again, you're not talking about here, then wiggle room, saying, no, this is a different area. No, two places supposedly with pictures that are taken back to back. Now, they include other floor plans as well. I think these are important too, because when you're breaking down something and you want to actually present a case, this is the way that you do it. But you can see they lay everything out. They lay it out in excruciating detail. Again, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt, these aren't different items. These things, they were taken sequentially. Now, speaking of sequentially and time frames, I think that this, it actually speaks volumes. Why? Because it's talking about metadata. Quote, "It is not only near implausible that 8 such pictures, there were 8 of them altogether, I'll show you in just a second, could have been taken within 1 minute, but near impossible that all 8 were taken within the same minute, and even less possible when considering that within the same minute the scene was further embellished by adding wine spillage, removing and replacing glass fragments. This raises the question of the very real probability that the photo metadata has been doctored." Now, what's interesting about these pictures is the fact that those two, they aren't the only questionable ones. In fact, there's another one that you know can be easily disproven. This one here, you know, the one with the wine stains in the hall. Why can this one be disproven, by the way? Because it's not on the body cam footage. That's right, it's not picked up at all. That's interesting, considering the judge in the UK trial, he dismissed the police outright, saying they weren't to be believed because of X, Y, and Z. But Josh Drew, he said that this guy here, he was a credible witness. Now remember too, this isn't the first time that people have effectively looked at photographs given by that certain nameless person, taken them apart after the UK trial. I mean, here, for example, these were provided of Australia. If you look into the background, well, you'll notice certain items, they move around or they disappear. Here you have a shower head in certain pictures. That shower head, if you zoom in, you'll notice the knotting on it. It actually changes up, saying that somebody took a shower. I mean, there's so many different items that change up, but these, they were supposed to be taken sequentially as well. That's right, things that keep getting worse and worse for that nameless person, not to mention the fact that some of the witnesses that have provided statements, they backed away too, but that's a video for another day. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. As always too, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work, so thank you. Want to help out the channel? Links in the description. But you being here, that matters, so thank you. I'll leave it with that. Thank you again. See you soon.